Good evening. Wow, talk about a day full of synchronistic, unexpected miracles, surprises, light, and shadows. Today, I actually just did my journal entry, but even prior to experiencing my journal entry, I was experiencing life as to what I was to write about tonight. And it was just such beauty to be in alignment with that. And so I'll share with you one of the activities I was to do was to look at the difference between a reflection of light and a reflection and a shadow. And um, earlier that day, I was noticing like the reflection of the sun during one of my experiences on the car, and that was to be one of my activities to do in my journal. And as I looked at the reflection of the sun on this car, I was just like almost in a trance by it. It was just like I could see the energy and I could see like rainbows all around it and like the heat, the movement coming from that space. And during this um, experience of me being in the car having this conversation, that what I'm going to share with you today, I felt this overwhelming presence with me, and it was because of that experience that I would go on to share an experience of just knowing that there's more than meets the eye. I've spent almost a lot of my life is I'll believe it when I see it. The proof's in the pudding. Show me the results, and then it's there. That's kind of how I've been able to make sense of things up until now. Um, Now I have this very deep feeling, this knowing, and I can say there's so much more to life than meets the eye. And in the journal today, it shares a little bit about 70% of the body's sense receptors cluster in the eyes. It is mainly through seeing the world that we size it up and understand it. Yet there is so much more to life than meets the eye. So crazy that in this journal entry is something that I said before I even read this or wrote it. Like, my mind is blown. But that's the beauty of synchronicities and surprises and alignment. When you're on path, your outer world and inner world are just mirrors. And so that was just beautiful to me. I hadn't observed a shadow until now. I mean, I've done it in past exercises and through my life, just notice the shadow. It's something we talk about a lot. And while I was observing my hand, the shadow of my hand, it was just like I observed just a different shade of light. I could almost see through the shadow, and the more I concentrated, I just realized it was, I've noticed it's just a different grade of light. I could still see what was being cast underneath it. It didn't make that part go away. It was just a different shade. The light wasn't able to reach it as much, and so it's just beautiful to experience certain things like that. Um, uh, so today I experienced a surprise phone call from my aunt regarding some news. Instead of putting it off till later and saying I'll call her back after I finish what I had planned and intended to do, I stepped outside and had the phone call with her. I'm not gonna read, I'm just gonna share. So, I was at the gym and with my mom had this intention of just going out and going to the gym. Received an unexpected phone call from my aunt, and instead of being like, "Hey, I'll call you back," I decided, no, I'm gonna take this phone call. Like, my low back was hurting. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm kind of done with the gym anyway right now. I'm in too much pain to work out. I don't know what the heck's wrong with me. So me and my mom go out to the car to have this conversation with my aunt, and that's where I noticed this reflection of light. And she just got done just talking to us about something that she deserved to talk to with us, and I was just sharing my love and appreciation for her. And in that conversation, she's like, I was gonna wait to express this to you until Sunday, but I'm feeling called to do it now. And in that, my aunt shared with me words that I had never expected to hear from her mouth. She shed light on her awareness of how she showed up in the past, or lack thereof, in showing her love and acceptance and support of me during a time in my life that was a celebration of my love. And to put it blankly, she chose not to show up to my wedding reception. And in that, it was just like, okay, that's your choice. Like, I was kind of just like whatever towards it, like, it's your loss. And in that space, I know that I stepped into a space of judgment, like, how could whatever, though, like, and over the years, it kind of just separated us. It separated our family quite a bit, and things have shifted over this last year with my family, and miracles, really. And over the last couple months, I've noticed the shift in her and the changes that she's making, and the way she's showing up is just different. And her actions have spoke louder than her words. But to hear her say those words and express herself by owning her voice and sharing that with me allowed me to experience a lightness that I never would have expected. It was truly a surprise, and that's what I was to write about today. It was big and small surprises, and whether they've changed my life or not. And for the record, I don't believe in big or small surprises or miracles or whatever you want to call it. I honestly, truly feel that everything in life happens for a reason. Everything in life, moment to moment to moment, changes your life. And in which way that changes your life is up to you, and how you choose to allow it to affect you, and what you choose to create and learn from that point on. And I give weight to how I experience the surprises in life and the miracles, big or small. I choose the weight and the light that I give to each and every moment of my life. And so, yeah, that was a big surprise for me today that ended up being a miracle. It was a light. It was beautiful to see the other side of that. And then to think about it, like, my back no longer hurts. So I don't know if mysteriously that back pain was weight that I'd been carrying around that decided to show up right before my phone call with my aunt, so I would leave the gym to actually have the conversation with her, and now it's gone. I don't feel it. It's weird. This is all new to me, and it's beautiful. Like, your body's telling my body's telling me things, and it's just really beautiful to step into that and feel that. Another big surprise in my life, as many of you know, the shock of a lifetime came to me with my separation, with my divorce, something I truthfully never saw coming. And I know everyone says that, I never saw this coming. But for those who know me and my life would concur that they never saw that coming either. And in that big surprise lie the shadows of my life. The dark, the hardest lessons of my life came to surface. And I found myself in a state of why? Why is this happening? What's going on? Like, what? I was making myself crazy. In the dark, wondering why. And looking for answers that didn't exist. I could not see those answers in the dark. It would be only when I reached the other side of the shadow would I experience the light, the reflection on the other side. There were days when I didn't know how I was going to get through and how I would live my life without this person. But there was a voice inside me that kept pushing me that said, there is something far greater than anything you could ever expect waiting for you. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning. And in the shadow of my life lied the greatest miracle. Before that occurred, I thought that being alone would make me sad, but in those moments of solitude, I learned to love and choose me first and connect to who I am. So, my lesson for today is those lessons in our life, the hardest things we've ever experienced. For me and for what I know, is that's the rocket fuel to my life, to your life. The darkest times you have ever gone through, know that there is something far greater on the other side. There's light reflecting right there, just right beneath the dark. And it's waiting for you. And for your experience in the dark is something that only you know. For something that you have only endured. But there lies your message. There lies your connection to this world, to humanity. Because as you sit in the dark, you sit in a war with yourself. And it isn't until that you choose peace and you choose love for yourself, for me, that you know the other side of the dark. And you can integrate the light and the dark together because they're one of the same coin. And therein it lies your biggest miracle. For the hardest times in my life have come the most beautiful, bright experiences farther after. And that is because that's what I choose. And you have that choice. I want you to know today you have that choice. And you don't have to do it alone. Choose you, choose love, and ask for help. I assure you that those seen and unseen will show up. Ask for help. You are never alone. My belief is we're all in this together. My belief for creating this video isn't for me, it's for you, for all of us. So share your message with somebody. Share your dark, share your light. Don't dwell in the dark, but let it be what allows you to connect and let go. And choose something bigger and brighter for your life and for yourself. Miracles. I can't even... The amount of love I experience on a daily basis is just beautiful, and it's that still small voice inside me saying, this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. I know you all notice that things are shifting. And this is just the beginning of living a fearless life. Living a life of love and peace, because peace exists. It isn't something in the distant future. It exists right here. When you create peace right here, you create peace out in the world. And I'm all about world peace. Believe me, like in this lifetime, that still small voice knows that it exists. But I create it here. And I create it in my family. And I create it in my friends and my relationships. And how dare I be privileged with knowing peace and not sharing it. I share the existence of peace and of love. And I stand as a committed stand to create that in this world. So I love you. And I stand for peace. And I stand for love and acceptance, surprises and miracles. I love you all. Namaste.